Hey everyone, I am here because I just wanted to do a video on how I ward off negative energy. The reason why I did is because it just happened to me recently. I had a situation that occurred at my work and I was expected to make it right and fix the situation, but the energy was so heavy and so destructive and it was just like there was no resolution happening, and I knew one had to come to place. And there were multiple parties involved, and somehow I was dragged back into it, and I was dragged into it, and I needed to find a way that I could move myself forward, move the situation forward to come to a resolution that every party was going to be okay with. So basically, kind of in a very big nutshell, is like I was brought in to help facilitate a situation, and where the two parties, and I was passing the information back and forth. And when my job was completed about passing the information, something happened when they were supposed to be communicating together. They didn't communicate, or communication fell through the roof or fell through the floor, and the situation fell apart. And then it was like everybody started becoming agitated because the situation that appeared to be finished was not completed. They started arguing with each other, then they started bringing me back in, and then the anger, the frustration, the fear, all this negative energy just coalesced and became a situation that was hard, and it was keeping everybody up at night. It was keeping myself up at night as I'm trying to figure out solutions in order to help the situation forward and come to a resolution. And before I did that, I actually pulled cards, and it kept showing the two parties angry. One's the King of Swords with just slicing and dicing with cutting words, and then you got the other side that is in loss, and the cups were on the floor and spilt, and and there was the Nine of Swords where everybody was up at night worrying. And then but yet it showed that when I pulled these cards, because I was looking for some resolution, beneath it I had the Victory card, and above it I had the Magician card. So in a weird way, when I looked at the situation, I was like, okay, so I need to be the Magician. I need to make something happen. But in order for me to do that, I needed to somehow get that negative energy out of the way so I could see a clear path forward. So to try to turn a bad situation upside down and turn it into a good situation for everybody involved, I needed some assistance. So the first thing I did was I turned to my crystals, because I do collect a lot. And the ones that I have laid out here are pretty much just a small portion of what I have, but these ones are the main ones that I would use for any sort of trying to clear negative energy, do some protective work, and try to get a situation cleared where I can find a clear path forward. Every crystal has its own frequency, and these ones are designed, are formed, or they resonate with the ability to clear. They're protective stones, they clear stones, and there are also a lot of them are grounding stones. But I also have a few angel stones, and I'll explain those here in a little bit. So let's kind of go through the stones first before I even tell you what I did, so you could go. So the first stones that I have here are black kyanites. These black kyanites are really good for clearing space. So I don't know if you've ever seen black kyanite, but black kyanite, they look like fans. These are not the greatest specimens in the world, but they're very effective. So when I'm trying to clear a situation, and I need to clear the energy space, the fans are good for that. And, in the namesake, it's like, you fan and clear the situation. So these are good for helping to clear a situation. So the most popular and in my opinion, one of the most strongest protection stones is black tourmaline. And I have a whole bunch here. I've got these big ones here. And then I also have a tumbled version of black tourmaline. Black tourmaline pretty much it wards off negative energy. So it's a great stone it's a protective stone because it helps keep that negative energy away. So I use this an awful lot whenever I'm dealing with negative situations, and it could be anything from personal issues or, personal worry, personal where you're trying to clear off the negative energy. It just helps ward off anything coming at you, so you can handle and deal with what you are going through at that moment. So I like that. So, but when there's another really strong one here, which is the jet stone. This is a tumbled version. The jet stone pretty much just helps clear your negative energy, but this stone also helps release the negative energy. So it helps you release it so you can move forward. So this is really good. It's also a pretty powerful stone in handling negative energy. The other one that I like, this is the black obsidian, and my fingerprints are all over it because I was rubbing it all day. And this stone wards off negative energy. It banishes it. So while this may ward it off and repel it, this literally like banishes it. So black obsidian is a very powerful stone for dealing with that. These next stones that I'm going to these are smoky quartz. I want to put these in here real quick. These are smoky quartz. The smoky quartz helps clear your aura field. It just kind of clears it and cleanses it, and it protects it. So this is your own energy field. So this is a protection of your own energy field. So that's what this is really good for. These are the smoky quartz, and I have a tumbled stone and I have crystal point. So then I have labradorite, and I love labradorite. I don't know if you can see the flashing. Oh, there's a little bit. See the flashing of that? So labradorite is normally, for me, I use it as a grounding stone. It helps ground me into the earth, ground me, and doesn't allow me to get rattled. So I really enjoy this stone. Is one of my most important stones. I work with this all the time. It helps keep me grounded so that I can handle situations that are occurring. This also shields you, and it also reflects negative energy. So if somebody is like doing some attacking your energy field, this will help reflect that back to them. So, but my situation, I wasn't wanting to reflect anything. I just needed to remove the energy situation. So I didn't use labradorite in my situation. So this is hematite. It's another grounding stone. Yeah, shiny it is. But this is also a reflective. So the hematite, even though it's a very strong and powerful grounding stone, it is also a protection stone. It's kind of like a reflective shield. So it helps reflect back anything that's coming at you. It reflects it back and away from you. So this is a very helpful stone when you are trying to navigate your way through situations and you need to stay grounded so your head doesn't just explode. So with all this, with anger and fury and frustration, this kind of helps reflect all that energy out that is coming at you, and it also helps ground you into the ground. So it is also a very protective stone. So the next thing I have here is kyanite, blue kyanite. Blue kyanite, and there's two forms here. This is the raw form, and this is the tumbled version, the tumbled stone. Blue kyanite is more like protective for your mind. It helps you think clearly, because sometimes when you have negative energy just flying at you and you're responding emotionally, you're not thinking clearly. So this kind of helps protect your mind and protect the ability for you to think so you can have solutions. So it also is associated with the throat chakra. So it also allows you to speak clearly and to get your point across in a clear fashion. So to get your thoughts and ideas across despite all the things. So it helps kind of protect your mind. And so I use this an awful lot because, I tend to be nervous when I speak. But I do my best not to. But this is a very, very protective stone of the mind, and it also helps give you clear voice. And because of my situation where they are, where I was kind of needing to be a magician, I also use the Merlinite. This is the Mystic Merlinite stone. And this stone is kind of the duality stone. But it also helps connect me to my intuition, so I can be more trusting of my intuition that a solution will find itself. So now, believe it or not, it's like this is selenite. I have a palm stone and I have a tumbled stone here. This is an angel stone or a guardian stone. It's a high vibration stone. It helps clear, and it helps bring high vibrations into a situation. It's also kind of protective. It's like guardian protective. It's like protective energy. So I like this because, I wanted to, when you're dealing with a negative situation, you want to bring in positive, more protective, and it's like, guardians and guides and like, help me get through the situation. Anything help us. So I always use this too, as in trying to help solve a situation. So anyways, so what did I do in order to resolve this situation? Just, spoiler, the situation was resolved, and everybody was okay with the results of what I suggested, and we put those in play and we put those emotions, and the situation came to an end where everybody was, not perfectly happy, but they were all satisfied with the results. So this is what I did, because you know what, the situation kept me up at nights for many nights, and I knew that I was coming down to a wire, and I knew based on the cards that I pulled that I was going to need to pull a rabbit out of the hat in order to make this happen. Thus, the reason why I decided that I was going to use the Merlin stone, the Mystic Merlinite, because you know what, if that magician card showed up and it was saying that I need to make magic happen, I was like, give me some help. So I used the Merlin stone, the Merlinite. So these were the stones that I was going to that I carried with me all day. So the next thing is that I needed protection from the negative energy. I needed it to be warded off. I can't deal with solving a problem if I'm continuously bombarded by negativity. So I put in black tourmaline. I put that in my pocket. So I wanted to make sure that my energy was protected, the situation was protected, so that I could find a path forward that would be a good resolution for anybody involved. So because of that, I needed to find a voice. So I used my blue kyanite, and I used the tumble one because if I would have put this, and I love how beautiful the stone is, if I would have put this kyanite in my pocket, it would have turned into powdered dust. So I used my tumbled version, so blue kyanite, to help give me clear voice and clear thinking into the situation. My last stone that I put into my pocket, I have a lot of stones in my pocket, is selenite. This was to help bring in the positive energy, to help bring in protection, to help bring in the higher vibrations and frequencies to help me bring the situation to a close. So I brought those guys in. So these guys were my 4 stones that I was going to keep in my pocket, and it was going to hang with me all day. So the next thing was that before I did any of this, I needed to clear my space, clear my energy, because I was already rattled. I was already emotionally drained from the situation. I ended up smudging myself. I smudged my aura, smudged my thing. So I just used sage. This is not the one I burned. The one I burned has been burned. And you use it I use it to clear the crystals, and I clear my own energy, and then I do a prayer to ask for, clarity and spirit to assist and guide and help me forward. So, and I always use, not only do I smudge my own space, I use a feather, a smudging feather to help me. This is the only reason why I'm showing this, because it's small, because my real smudging feather is this smudging feather, and it is made of turkey feathers, and it is a huge smudging feather, and I really love it. I love this. I use it throughout to clear my entire home, to clear any space that needs to be cleared. But so you use a smudging feather. You don't need something this fancy. You could get something, you could just have a single feather, or you can use something as small and simple as this. It's just to, get the smoke to move through your energy field and say a little prayer. For instance, like this smudging feather is just to kind of help, bring me clarity, bring me understanding, bring me guidance, help me through the situation. So this I use to clear my energy field. I use it to clear all the crystals that I needed for this situation. So once I had those cleared, I was able to put those in my pocket. Now I did one more thing, because I did clear all these. I brought, not this one, but this is tourmaline, black tourmaline. This is my raw form. This is my smallest of the 3 large stones. So I used this stone. I also used my black obsidian. Okay. And I used both of these to set intention. So, and I carried these with me too. So I had to set attention. So I would sit there and I put them in one in each hand. One is in my sending out hand and one is in my receiving hand. So this is to banish the negative energy. So I place this in my right hand, and this is to, protect and ward it off, any new ones coming in. So I put this in my left hand, and I would hold them just like this, and I would I would set my intention into the stones. I would say, and here's the key that I also did, is that it wasn't to just protect me. I was setting my intention into these 2 stones to protect the situation, to ward off the negative energy within the situation. That means that I am expanding my protective energy, the protection, to the 2 parties as well, asking the negative energies to be warded off from the situation. So they're being protected because we need to come to an understanding. And I want that situation warded off so that I am allowed to see clear understanding and be able to find a path through that would be a resolution that all parties involved would be satisfied with. So I set those intentions, and I took both of these stones. After I set my intention, I took both of these stones with me to work as well. So these guys stuck in my pocket, and these guys I took with me, and I put them in a bag. And then when I got to work, I actually took them out and placed them on my desk. So I have these 4 stones in my pocket. I have these stones on my desk. And when I felt the situation getting tense, I would pick them up and I would just hold them. And if I'm on the phone, I just choose one. And usually it was this stone because it's smooth, and I was able to just rub it and, and say, banish the energy so that I can find a solution forward. What surprised me about the situation, so the end result is, what surprised me about the situation is that because the tensions were so high and so intense for the previous days before I did this, when we started getting to the situation and we started talking again, trying to find solutions, everybody was so much calmer. Now, it didn't say that their feelings weren't hurt or just all magically disappeared. It's just that negative, aggressive energy just didn't exist. The disappointment was there, but everybody was willing to listen, and everybody was willing to try to do whatever it took to make things right. So, being the mediator of this situation, I was able to go in and help bring a resolution that was satisfying to both parties. And so in my view, maybe it was coincidence, I don't know, but in my view, with the intention set, with the intent to protect everyone, the whole situation, get the negative energy out there so we can come to a solution that worked best for everyone. And that was what my original intentions were when I set it into these stones. So now that I've set those into the stone, I'll probably clear these stones with sage and clear all these stones that I carried in my pocket. I'll clear those stones so that they can be reset for the next situation that happens. So anyways, that is what happened. That is how I handled the situation. That is, and it worked for me, and it could work for you. Like I said, there's multiple different stones that will help, and you just have to find the right combination that will assist you in your situation of trying to solve a situation and trying to remove the negativity so you can do a breakthrough and solve the situation instead of just constantly being in this cycle of fighting. It helps remove that situation. So the one thing that you could do after that effect of a negative situation is malachite. Look at that stone. It's really, really beautiful. This is a healing stone. After you deal with such a negative situation and it's over, you want to be able to clear yourself, clear your energy. So malachite is a great healing stone that clears your energy. It also will help you release the negative energy. So you could use this in conjunction with jet, which will help you release the negative energy and move it forward, but this will help heal that situation. So malachite is a very good healing energy in order to dissipate and bring balance back into your energy field. So I hope this helps you. I hope it gives you some ideas. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of different kinds of protective stones. You just need to find the blend and the balance to be able to bring yourself together. Use smudging tools to help clear your energy, and set your intention. Set your intention to help the situation. In my view, if you're trying to, everything is energy. So if you're trying to heal a situation, I would never use this to try to harm another person. I want to heal the situation. So that's where my intention is set, is to heal the situation and everyone involved. So I hope this has helped you, and let me know if you've had situations that these crystals have helped you. So until next time, thanks. Bye.